I will never get the brightness on this right. I will always just look dead. Just let me be your dead book reviewer, because which actually fits in perfectly with what we're going to review today. Roll the clip. Me, I control the clips. Just with everyone, welcome back to my sitting room. My name is Diesel, and you are as always most welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing a book. It is the first book in the Mara Dyer trilogy. It is called The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and it is by Michelle Hodkin. And people have been telling me to read this book for fecking ages, so now I've finally gotten around to do it. Aren't you proud? Don't be. I wouldn't be. I'm so late to the party. The party's over. It's actually not. The third book hasn't come out yet. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just keep, it's fine. So what's it all about? Well, the series obviously follows Mara Dyer, who has been in a very strange circumstance in her life. She wakes up in a hospital with absolutely no clue at how she got there. Seemingly, a house fell in on top of her while she was with her boyfriend and two friends. And while they were all killed, she gets away with pretty much minor scrapes and bruises. After suffering from this traumatic event, Mara's medical team and her psychologist's mother believe that she is suffering from PTSD, which Mara also believes because she keeps seeing her dead boyfriend and friend in mirrors or hearing them talk behind her, to which I assume would also be quite traumatic. She's not having an easy time. For the sake of Mara's mental health, her parents decide that she needs a new surrounding, so they move her to Florida, where she gets a new house and a new school, etc., etc. Unfortunately, that doesn't help because her hallucinations kick up a notch, and not only does she see dead people, she imagines things like buildings falling in on top of her. But then the real kicker starts when she envisions the death of a person she doesn't know, and it happens moments after she's envisioned it. She's not really having the best time, as you can imagine. And of course, this is a YA novel, so there is going to be a boy involved. Nobody is surprised. Let's move on. So let's start off our thoughts the way we always start off thoughts, and that's with writing style. There's nothing unusual about this. It's quite well written, actually, I think. I liked it. It drew me in. It was fun times. That's all I can say on that. Simple. Simple. This one is a strange one because there's a lot of parts that I would like to discuss that I can't if you haven't read the book. So I guess this is just where I'm going to give you my overall feels of it so that if you haven't read it, you can decide which you want to do. And then the second part of the video will be the discussion for those who have read it. It's an interesting read. Some of it I found completely confusing and way over my head, but I do think that lots of people would enjoy it. Mara is a super awesome character. She's really engaging. You really root for her and you feel for her. Like, you don't even have to have been through this traumatic event to realize that there's something awfully going wrong in her head. And you really want to protect her, I think. The character of Noah, he is amazing. I usually am not really into male leads or you know, male characters for YA, especially if they're like the love interest, because they all tend to be very one-dimensional, but Noah actually really draws you in, and Michelle has this way of writing Noah so that you feel what Mara is feeling. It was all very exciting. I was very impressed. A couple of times I was reading it in work and I had to put it down because I was like when I was, because it was awkward for everyone involved in the office. Would I recommend it? Personally, I'm not sure if it was really for me. I would have to see what other people thought about the second and third book to actually find if I was going to continue on. The first half I loved. The second half I just found really confusing to the point where I don't really care what happens to the characters. It just seems like it's going to be more of my head melting when I could be reading other things. I think some of you would really like it, but I don't think it's for me. Would I recommend it? Some of you have proved to be able to decipher books that I have been utterly confused of in the past. So yeah, give it a go if that's what you're into. but I probably won't be continuing on with the series just because it wrecked my head a little bit. But other than that, that's the non-spoilery part. I'm going to move on to the pointless discussion next. So thank you very much for coming. Until next time, Slán. And if you're staying for the next part, not Slán. See you in a second. Those people are gone now. Bye-bye, people. If you're still here, this is your last chance to go. 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 Hello, everyone who is here because you've read the book. That is a lovely hat you're wearing. You're not wearing a hat. Now you feel awkward. That is lovely skin that you have there. Anyway, you guys, I was confused. I spent a good half of this book confused. Nella's power thing. What? What are you talking about? When he was first telling her about his powers, I thought that he was joking or trying to make her feel better, and at some point was going to be like, oh, I'm just kidding, I can't do any of those things. It was just so out of left field that I was like, huh? Like I didn't really get what his power was. He can feel people's pulse. He can see when people are dying. Like, at least with Mara, I was pretty clear. She gets, like, passionate or angry or upset or anxious and kills people with her mind and then they die. His was just like a whole mishmash of things that I just didn't understand. And it seemed kind of like if he wasn't joking, it was just thrown in to make her feel better. And this whole, like, he recognized her thing, he had heard her voice or whatever. I don't know. No. Also, the whole thing about her dad being the lawyer for the murderer, I did not understand why that was a big deal. I didn't get why that would affect her. Maybe that's just me not understanding things, but, like, what's that got to do with you, sister? Nothing. Nothing. Apart from the strange phone call that was like, don't do it. That was kind of weird. And then I didn't, like, I just felt for that to be a big deal, it wasn't really made that big of a deal of. It just kind of showed up and was like, oh yeah, I have this case. Okay. Right then. And then the whole kidnapping thing with the little brother. Why would you kidnap the person trying to get you off this charge, son? It seems counterproductive. And there was like, oh, they would have stopped the trial because the lawyer's son had gone missing. But it just seemed weird. It just seemed weird to me. And then when Noah's power was like, I could see your brother, the guy with the Rolex. I was like, what are you talking about? I can't even really verbalize what I was confused about because I was just so confused by half of this thing. I just didn't get it. And it kind of, the story went from like me really wanting to know what was happening or what was going to happen to me really wanting to know just what was happening. Like, I kind of flatlined in the middle of it and thought, I don't get this at all. And then Noah being, like, moody, or, I don't know, his weird thing after she killed all the insects, and then he was like, it was just so strange. I really didn't get it. I was just so confused. I didn't think Noah had to be obnoxiously rich. I didn't really think that had much of a muchness in the thing. It was nice that he had all that money, I guess, but other than that, the fact that his mother was murdered in front of him, does that stem back to his... I'm sure if I read the second and third book I would probably figure this out, but to be honest I was so confused that I'm not really interested in doing that. But there have been books that have confused me before, and you guys have explained them to me, which is helpful as F. So if you understood what the heck was going on here, please break it down for my simple mind, because obviously I'm having a moment. yeah, I don't think I'm going to continue on with the series. I was really excited about this series, actually, to be honest, because when I was reading the first half, I really freaking liked it, but then just couldn't manage it, which is a shame. But now I'm back to having nothing to read, because I thought I was going to have a series, but I'm not. So what you gonna do? Thanks for listening to me ramble. That was nearly 5 minutes of me explaining to you how confused I was. Yeah, what were your thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Was it for you? Were you as confused as I was? Did you have full clarity the whole time and I just am too simple to understand? Dunno. But that's all. That's all I have to say. This is too long anyway. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks for coming, and always remember to eat your potatoes, especially if you're Irish. Just be thankful that there are potatoes. Famine joke. Oh God, bye.